Hannah Grace is your average girl just enjoying life until that dang old demon comes into her life and possesses her. Next thing before she knows it, she becomes tied to a bed and they try to poorly recreate that scene from The Exorcist. In more ways than one, this film tries its hardest to be either the most boring film or the worst film of the year, and I'm still having a hard time trying to figure out which category it really belongs to. Oddly enough, this film stars another Pretty Little Liars star, and honestly, I wish that there were actually a lot more to say about the film, other than its horrible ending and its lack of push in its style and its presentation. We have bare bone characters who have absolutely no dimension to them, and Shay Mitchell, who plays as the lead in this film, she is just utterly boring. I mean, yeah, they tried to give her a backstory. They tried to develop her character, but in more ways than I can even really count, she has almost nothing to give to the screen. It's either that the script is totally lacking, which it is, or it's just that she is a bad actress. Now, I've never seen Pretty Little Liars, and I've never sat down and willingly tortured myself with one of those episodes, but I'm pretty sure that they're competent enough actors because the series actually got a finale. Here's the thing. This film tries to be a lot of things at once. It tries to be The Autopsy of Jane Doe. It also tries to be The Exorcist. And it tries to be a lot of other demon possession movies, except that it thinks the twist is unique, and it becomes self-indulgent in that. You can tell that they wanted to make a good movie, but at the same time, there is no momentum in the film. Once we get into that basement, we're stuck, and we're never getting out of there. And it's so boring. There are several moments in this film where I really wanted to just get up and leave the theater. I didn't even have to pay to see this film. I got in for free. I still regret going. There's no actual storytelling. A lot of the time, it's just characters going from one part of the basement to another part, but interchanging with very weak dialogue and horrible characterization where pretty much nothing is actually being said. Let me just get to the ending here, okay? I'm going to tell you the ending of this film, and you can decide for yourself if you think that this ending is either a great idea or a horrible idea. Now, we've been sitting around for about an hour and 15 minutes or so, and we're coming up to the climax of the film, where Hannah Grace is sulking around and moving around like she has no vertebrae in her body. After Hannah Grace's father dies, we then come back to our final battle, Shay Mitchell versus Hannah Grace. Shay Mitchell pulls a gun from her cop ex-boyfriend. Did I mention that she has a cop ex-boyfriend who is stealing bottles of Xanax from him? Oh yeah, because that does happen in the movie, and he actually has almost no role in the movie whatsoever other than to be more filler. So anyways, he's being lifted up by the demon by force choking, and she grabs the gun from his belt loop and shoots Hannah Grace. Hannah Grace falls limp. She starts then to drag Hannah Grace to the crematorium where they were trying to drag her originally, and it doesn't really go anywhere from there. It's not even a struggle that Shay Mitchell has when throwing Hannah Grace into the incinerator. It's just that she throws her into the incinerator, she screams, "No, no, no!" and then she dies, and it's really boring, and there's no payoff. Then again, this film had nothing building up, so it's kind of like a horrible porno where you just feel sad for everybody who's involved, but you're still there and you haven't clicked away yet. That's what I would describe it as. Alright, so then we get to the actual ending of the film, because the film doesn't end there. No. We have to get a epilogue. Alright, so the epilogue of the film is that Shay Mitchell is running down, I assume, some part of Boston, because the film takes place in Boston, and she's just running. She says, "I've been 62 days sober, and nothing's ever gonna stop me." And she's taking a shower, and then she sees a fly, and she squishes the fly, looks at the mirror, and like that, that's the end of the movie. It's kind of amazing that this film drops the ball in more ways than I could ever imagine. You know, there are a lot of good possession horror films. I mean, this, and this are all pretty good examples of horror films that people actually do like and are actually good.
There's just too much good shit here.
Ironically enough, this film falls limp like a corpse.
No!